when they realized you were blind?
I think it was like right when I was born.
Okay, so they knew right away?
Yeah.
And how much can you actually see?
Like, I can see light and colors, but only out of this eye, and I can't see things that are like way far away from my face. Like if you hold a number on your hands far away from my eye like that, then I can't see it. But if I hold it like that, then I can see it.
Okay, so you do see some colors.
Yeah.
Do you see like all range of colors, or they like have to be really bright, or?
I guess I can see all the colors because my grandma told me when I was little I taught myself all the shades of gray.
Interesting. So cool. Okay, what do you feel is the most challenging aspect of being blind?
Probably like going through crowds and stuff, like when there's a lot of people around me. But I kind of, get through that. So.
Yeah, because I see you power through. Like, I mean, I see you walk on campus sometimes, man, and you're just a quick walker. Does it make you nervous when you're around crowds, or do you feel confident in walking?
It makes me a little bit nervous because I don't know like where some people are at, like if they're on the sides of me or behind me.
Yeah. So your peripheral vision is, you don't have any peripheral vision.
Yeah.
Unless it gets really close. Got it. Okay, and what types of accommodations or devices are provided to help you at school? First, we'll just talk about what you have at school to help you.
Well, I have my cane, so I can like walk around in school. And then I have my Apex, which is what I use to type. And then I can like type on it, and like I can print out the documents that I have typed so you guys can all see it.
Doesn't that also print out in Braille too, so that you can refer back to it?
Yeah, because there's like a special machine that you have to have though, called an embosser, which I don't have that.
Oh.
The school has those, I think,
It
yeah.
has like this little display on the front of it, so you can actually feel it while you're typing.
Now, on your Apex machine, is that like a normal keyboard for a computer, or is that specific to someone who is deaf and needs more assistance?
It's like there's 6 dots in the whole Braille cell. So it has 6 keys, dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But then on the sides of those, there's the backspace and the enter key, and in the middle there's the space. So then if you hit like dot 1, that would be A, and then dot 1 and 2, that would be B.
Interesting.
So is Braille, is it kind of, as far as like learning it and reading it, is it based simply like on alphabet? Is everything spelled out? I guess so. Say for example, if the word, just say Helen was on there, is it spelled out Helen, or is there actually?
There's some like short form contractions that you put in there. So it would be you put Hel, and then you would put like there's 2 dots that you would hit. That would be just for En.
Oh, got it.
And then there's some like for the, you could just have a sign for that, and like for you, like YOU, you could just put a Y and then space. So there's some like short form.
That's interesting. How old were you when you learned Braille?
I was in like preschool, and probably before that even.
Wow, that's really cool. And same with like typing it out too. Do you learn to type it at the same time as reading it, or how obviously probably not, but how does that work?
I kind of learned them at the same time, yeah. So they were teaching me how to like read Braille and type Braille.
And in preschool.
Yeah.
That's gotta be pretty tough when you're, like preschool, you're just, you don't not always know your letters and your numbers and things like that, right? So you're learning those at the same time. Interesting. Okay, and so what about outside of school? What kind of assistance do you have outside of school for like walking around? I mean, is there a chance for you to get a seeing eye dog versus a cane? How does that work?
I could get a seeing eye dog when I'm 16, I think. Or is it older? I don't know. But I prefer not to have the seeing eye dog because it's a lot of responsibility, and I kind of like having my cane more because I feel like I can feel more in front of me if there's like a crack in the sidewalk or if there's a pole in front of me.
So it's just fun.
So you have kind of like like a mental image like mapped out as far as like even when you go into your classrooms, you kind of have a map in your mind where you're like, okay, I know all the desks are lined up like this, and as to the point where if you came in one day and I had rearranged all of the desks, so that would kind of really throw you off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even yesterday, I asked you about it yesterday when we were walking through the hall. Yeah, you were the only one that walked through, cool, calm, straight line. Saying sometimes you can count, right, and keep as far as keeping track of steps or clicking. We were talking about.
Yeah, like if I don't have my cane, then I can just like walk and I can like see what's in front of me by like snapping my fingers.
That's interesting.
And then I can like hear if there's something behind me or by like the echo of where I'm at.
So your other senses have really become stronger because your vision. So like your hearing must be pretty good if you're it takes precedence over the vision. Interesting. So what do you think is the biggest problem that separates someone who is blind versus someone who can see?
I think it's just the vision pretty much. Like you guys can all see probably more clearly, and like you can probably see like things far away as to where I can see things that are just up close. Like I don't know if you've ever seen me on my phone, like having it up close to my face.
Do you have the font larger and stuff like that too?
Yeah, like if you double tap or triple tap the screen, you can make it like big. So I'll have it like that. And then I just can't see out of this one. So I think that would be like the only difference. Like,
what about your math? Because I know you have a cool thing for math. How does that work? Because
the
writing
map,
it
like
would be
the
tough.
board.
Yeah, how do you like write math problems down and stuff? Is that Braille too, or how does it work?
We have this like window, like a magnet type window, and there's these little Braille magnets on it, so I can like move the numbers around how I want them. Like if you had a math problem on there, you could like switch it, and then you could like put the answer at the end of it.
And does that print it out too, so for you to turn in, or how does
No,
it?
it's like it's this big like board in front of you, and it has these little magnets on it, so you can like take off the magnets.
So how do you turn in work?
That's why I have Sarah, and she like writes down
Got it.
my answers on the paper.
That's what I kind of wanted. I wanted to get to that support system that you have for another adult aid. That's good. Okay, and so I just want to know, do you dream in sight?
I can dream just with my left eye, so yeah, I can dream in like colors and stuff. Yeah,
Kind of
but I
the
just
same way
can't
you see it?
Yeah, like the same way that I see it now is the same way I can see in my dreams.
Good, yeah, that's a conversation we usually have every year when we get this. Like, if someone has no vision at all or no hearing at all, what kind of things would your mind dream about? If you like, do you think in your dreams you have a lot more like auditory stuff, or just what you see?
It's like I can hear a lot of stuff, but I can also see a little bit with this. It's kind of like it is just like normally, like during the day.
Anybody have any questions? Nobody? Yes.
So how come you can only kind of see through one eye?
When I was born, I think like I was just kind of like born like that.
So there's absolutely no vision whatsoever in your right, correct?
No, nothing at all in this one. Like it's
Okay.
not even there.
Now on the right side, it's just very limited to this side, close.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anybody else have any questions?
And then what were we saying? Back to you were talking about when you get a new cane, and then what becomes a problem after a while?
Then like the tip at the end of the cane, sometimes it like wears down, so it can't like roll as easily. So then it gets like bumpy and
Because that's the, I don't know if you guys know, so that's where the bottom of your cane rolls, right? You want to clarify just how the cane works?
well, if I have like a sighted guide, which is what you guys did yesterday, then I don't really have to use it, and I would hold it, like up to me while I was walking with my guide, so then we'd walk like that. So, and if I don't have anyone, I would put it out and I go like this. To kind of feel what's in front of me. Like desk, trash can.
And how about if you, when we go to like crossing streets, if you go to cross an intersection that doesn't have not verbal, but the auditory notifications, if it's walk or don't walk, how do you overcome that?
I haven't really been to an intersection by myself because I have Sarah here and she helps me cross, or I'll have Lindsay and she helps me cross too. Like she'll tell me when to go and stuff.
Is that kind of a scary idea though, thinking to cross a big street on your own, and you kind of have faith that you have good drivers out there stopping?
We don't have that sound thing, do we?
No.
In this crosswalk? Huh.
Only when you like press the button and it makes a sound.
No, but usually what happens, there's
Like at the
it'll
airport?
beep that signifies it's clear to
You're like,
walk.
walk,
And then
walk.
it'll go beep, beep, beep. When it starts beeping, it's like 10 seconds left. So you'll know how to get across after a certain amount of time. I can't believe that's not mandatory now. It's interesting. Any other things I didn't ask Danielle that you can think of that, okay, go ahead, Lindsay.
What's the hardest thing you've had to overcome in high school? Because it's a much bigger place than middle school.
Probably just like on the first day, trying to like figure out where all my classes were. And the first aid that I had like took me all these different routes and not the way that I had learned it before, like the first time that I went. Like, because before school started, I had my mobility teacher, which is she takes me out and she shows me how to like get around in the community with my cane and stuff. So I would just say like going across campus and figuring out where everything is.
Yeah, so consistent place and like way you travel is really important when you have
Yeah.
something. That makes sense. That really makes sense. What else, Danielle, can you think of that maybe I didn't ask that's important for us to know, especially since we're going to be reading Helen Keller and she's blind, so what are some of the things that, either are difficult for you or beneficial to you?
Okay, so if any of you guys like come up to me and say hi, it would be actually really helpful if you like say your name, because sometimes I forget voices. So like you say hi, my name, or hi, it's Lindsay, or hi, it's whoever.
She'll get to recognize, who you are.
Yeah, and that's interesting too because I'm the worst with names, so I know by faces, so it would be very difficult for me.
Yeah.
If I were blind to do that, so that's interesting. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Ashley?
How do you like pick out what food you want? Like if you're home alone or something, you have to make yourself a sandwich. How did your mom like put Braille on it, or?
When I was little, we actually did that, but now I can just pretty much do it on my own.
Do you cook?
Yeah, I've cooked sometimes. Like with my grandma, I'd cook like brownies and stuff, and she'll let me like kind of help with that.
Yeah. Is there any other supports that you think that could be utilized or at school that can help you further?
Not that I can think of.
That crazy TV that Mr. Sayer has for you that blows everything up.
Oh.
That's cool. I wish they had those.
I have this thing, and it's like
In math, that would
Yeah, that's
definitely
what
help.
I was asking.
Because there's a lot of symbols that we use on the math board that, are kind of hard. Like fractions. Fractions are totally different, and if she had one of those TVs that could blow it up, she could definitely just see what it looks like and figure it out,
it's the screen though, and it has like a tray underneath it, and you can put like a print paper under it, and then you can like turn this little knob on the front of it, and it has like you can zoom it in enough to where you can see it. or where I can see it.
Does it read it too?
I don't
No.
know.
No. Just
You just
sees
like
it.
push the paper kind of along and look at it.
What about one of those? Aren't those reading pens? So don't they have those pens that actually you scan it over it and it reads it too?
I never ever thought about that.
It sounds like $1 million dream. Though.
No. There is one. I forgot the name of it, but it's for people that are dyslexic that transpose words and letters. So it actually you can scan it over like written material and it reads it. So I forgot the name of it. I was just talking to somebody about it too. Dyslexia. Anyway, so that's really cool. Any other questions for me?
Oh yeah. Have you ever tried to go across the bridge? Like maybe when like there's no one there. Have you ever tried going up?
Yeah, I've gone across the bridge a few times actually,
Do you feel
but not by
confident?
myself. I always have like a friend with me.
Are stairs pretty scary if there's no railing?
If there's no railing, like going down, it's hard, but up, it's not hard.
What I used to do was every time there was a stair, I say stairs. And then when we got off on the stair, then I just stopped.
Going to dance class is interesting. I like taking her to dance class. We just got through the hip hop unit and
Are you hip hopping in there? Any other questions? Matt?
So I have a question. So if you you say you can only see really close up view. So if like what happens when nothing's in your like range of view? Do you see like nothing? Nothing's in your range of view.
Like if there's a pole in front of me and it's like the same color as like the ground or something, then I can't like see it until I get like very up close to it. And then I'll kind of like brush by it or run into it.
so colors blend, you know.
All right, good. Thank
Thank
you.
you.